Welcome back to Class with Cass. This is a series where I tell my experiences of getting into college. My name is Cassandra Xiao. I am a student at Yale. If you missed my last video where I reveal all my high school stats, you can click on the link below. This week, I want to talk to you about extracurriculars. Funnily enough, when I was planning this video, I was binging all 8 episodes of Netflix series called The Politician. The ever-talented Ben Platt plays this character named Peyton who probably rivals Glee's Rachel Berry, Hamilton's Hamilton, and Shakespeare's Macbeth in terms of the most destructive, most ambitious-filled characters ever. There's a scene in episode 1 where Peyton finds out that he's been waitlisted, spoiler alert, at his dream school and has a subsequent meltdown. His monologue goes a little something like this. A lifetime of focus and planning, carefully studying applications I obtained on the black market in order to pinpoint the exact combination of extracurriculars and test scores that will optimize my chances of acceptance. 3 years on that stupid literary magazine, Model UN, and service-oriented summer camp in Costa Rica. Flippin' Mandarin.
Dude, chill.
Well, I hate to break it to you, Peyton, but there is no one single way of getting into college. All of your wonderful extracurriculars and leadership positions and volunteer time don't guarantee anything. And admissions officers can tell if you're doing all of that just to get into college. It's really sad to see Peyton be so crushed after spending so much of his high school life in these activities which he clearly didn't enjoy. So for those of you watching, I hope you take Peyton's character with a grain of salt. I hope that if you're going to dedicate so much of your high school life to these activities, that you genuinely enjoy them and that they are actually benefiting the community around you. Passion speaks so much louder than a fancy list of extracurriculars you think the admissions officers want to see. Now, Peyton is a smart boy. He knows that extracurriculars can't be the only thing that gets him to college, and that is why he is so obsessed with becoming his school's president. Leadership within extracurriculars is a very critical part of your application. Colleges want to see leaders. If you visit every college's mission statement website, the word leader is bound to pop up there. So, how do you show colleges that you are a leader and that you have the it factor? Well, that depends on what your definition of a leader is. For me, my parents taught me that being a leader is about giving back to the community. These values of genuinely wanting to make a difference and be of service were instilled in me by my mom from a very, very young age. She led by example, teaching my Sunday school classes, and I started to help out with her in the classroom when I was just 8 years old. I would help with setup, cleanup, and when I started getting a little bit older, I even started to develop my own curriculum with other kids who were my age. We would create lesson plans and silly puppet shows that illustrated biblical stories. We'd eat snacks, we'd have so much fun. We even created hand motions to children's worship songs and just made it an overall very fun experience. Leadership also involves growth, specifically growth in a community. For me, another one of my main leadership roles was this organization called Operation Dream, which I actually stumbled upon by accident. When I was a Scholastic Kid reporter, one of my very first jobs was to find a hometown hero and interview them. I scoured the internet for kids in my community who were making a difference, and I stumbled upon this girl named Corinne Olivo. She founded Operation Dream as a hunger relief organization for orphans in the Dominican Republic. After I interviewed her, I knew I had to get involved. It started very simple. I went around the neighborhood with a little wagon and knocked on all my neighbors' doors asking them for canned food as my parents trailed behind in their car keeping a watchful eye. I thought it was pretty fun, so I invited some friends along, and before we knew it, this turned into a fully fledged operation. Mom helped me draw up maps of the neighborhood. We printed flyers, we distributed them to schools. I gave talks at schools and churches and just set up food drives across the city. At the end of every drive, we would host something called a pack and stack party where we invited everyone to our house. We had a little party and we sorted out all the canned food, packaged them into these giant boxes, and waved goodbye as the truck shipped them off to the Dominican Republic. Operation Dream built our character and tested our perseverance as we literally were facing so many closed doors. This illustrates commitment and growth. Something that I'm really proud of is that even after I graduated, my brother and a lot of my younger friends continued collecting cans in their city and continued this tradition of food drives. Finally, I want to talk to you about my experience in student government. The entire premise of The Politician is Peyton running to be his high school's president. Peyton lives and breathes politics, and not just in the sense of knowing a candidate's platform inside and out, but actual politics attitude, like backstabbing and playing dirty and outmaneuvering your opponent. Now for me, I hate those kind of politics. Any sort of thing that involves running just makes my skin crawl. But I ran for president for 3 years in a row. I ran for sophomore year, junior year, and senior year. Why did I do it? I loved my school and I sincerely wanted to see it grow in certain aspects. I lost in sophomore and junior year, and I was so discouraged I almost didn't run in senior year until that I heard my dear friend and sophomore year running mate Brooke had lost her running mate and was thinking of dropping out of the race altogether. Now, I couldn't let that happen because I sincerely believe that Brooke would be the best thing to happen to this school. Now, Brooke is one of the most amazing people that I know. She's incredible at everything that she does. She does it efficiently, effectively, and aesthetically because she has an amazing eye for aesthetics. She knew what this school needed. So I decided to run with her again. To our delight, we won. We won based on our platform about improving mental and emotional health on campus, as well as advocating for student-designed apparel. We ran our platform essentially about candidates who care, and looking back in retrospect, I think we truly accomplished what we set out to do in the first place. Now, learning to be a leader doesn't happen immediately overnight. This takes years and years of practice, of skill developing, time and energy, and just learning from your mistakes. Sometimes it's incredibly helpful to be surrounded by like-minded leaders and individuals who can say that they've been there and done that and can give you advice on how to be the best leader possible. I applied to be one of my high school's representative to something called HOBY, a World Leadership Youth Organization. I got the chance to attend both a local conference in California and a national, international conference that took place in Chicago, and I can say 100% two of my most amazing highlights in high school. I met people from all around the world. I made lifelong friends. I learned practical skills from amazing public speakers. We shared our talents with each other. We affirmed one another, and I think all of us left as slightly better versions of ourselves, and at the very least, a plan for the person that we want to be. HOBY conferences take place during the summer between sophomore and junior year. If you are a sophomore or a freshman, I encourage you to look into your school if they send a representative to HOBY, and if not, you can reach out to your school counselor and see if they can send a candidate for this conference, because truly it is life-changing. I'll link it below. So that's it for this video. I know I didn't cover any of my journalism or creative writing extracurriculars, but there's a lot to unpack there, so we'll save that for a future video. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter, on Instagram, and you can check out the link to my blog where I will be posting more about my study abroad experiences. Don't forget to join my Facebook group where I have all the archived posts that me and my mom made about applying to college. I will talk to you guys next time on Class with Cass. Cheers!